Welcome back to another video. Hope you are having a great day. And today with a Android TV box from Uggos, which is a brand that we have reviewed quite a few devices. And one of the things that it has in common with other devices from Uggos is build quality and some features that I'm going to show you on software. But I'm curious to see the performance of the Amlogic S928X-J, which is the sock inside here, so that we can compare with other previous versions. And if you are in the market for an Android TV box with pure Android, this might be a great option. So that being said, let's go straight for it. So it has Android 11, but if you are watching this video on your Windows 10 or Windows 11 computer and you still haven't activated, don't forget to check out KeysFan, where you can find budget official OEM keys at an affordable price. And with the coupon code that you can see on screen and down below on the video description, it will get a bit cheaper. So just in case you want to check that out, the link will be down below, just next to the Ugoos AM8. Now, talking about the Uggos Android TV box, in terms of build quality, it's just awesome. All metallic enclosure, so no cheap parts right over here. Everything is really solid, which makes it feel like a premium box. But besides that, it will improve the cooling of this socket, which has a nice performance that I will share with you. In terms of connectivity, we will find two USB Type-C ports, one of which is for power and the other one for data, also an HDMI, 1 gigabit Ethernet port, optical out, and a 3.5mm auxiliary port. It also features on the other side 3 USB 3.0 ports, 1 microSD slot, and 2 detachable SMA antennas. In terms of the firmware, let's turn it on and take a better look at it. And now with the firmware on the Ugoos AM8, and if we take a look right over here, it's the normal that we can see on any Android TV box with pure Android. In this particular case, we are using this launcher, but there's also the option to select the U launcher right over here, and where I can add just apps that I want, for example, just random apps. And if I decide, okay, I don't want this one, I can just remove it, and that is it. Basically, this is a more TV style, but of course we can use any launcher, and we have done some videos, so take a look at some of them and you probably will find the launcher that suits yourself. But out of the box, these are the two that we have. Now, in terms of the Android functions, more or less it's the same that we have been seeing, but there are a few features that are exclusive or almost exclusive to Uggos. For example, the Uggos remote server, where we can have a server to send files to other units. It's not new, we have seen in other Uggos machines, but it works great. And if we take a look at, not this because we have seen, but the options and device preferences, right over here it's the same that we see on others. And right over here we can see the Android 11 version, the Uggos AM8, and where I want to show you is the panels and interface. So we can decide here to customize the status bar. For example, I can make it disappear, I can put it there, I can allow swipes to disappear or appear. For example, if I want to show it, I can just come here during my normal utilization. The same with the bottom bar, I can just do like this, and then volume bar position. So we can customize a few things right over here, which is great. And besides that, we can also customize the recent application window on the tile size and so on and so forth. This is more for the other launcher that we were seeing, some background settings and animations. More interesting is the hardware monitor. This is one of the things that I really enjoy on the Uggos machines, where we can enable information on the screen. And probably network is not the most interesting one, but if I decide to put the CPU temperature and the CPU frequency, this is really great. Now I can show as a window, or I can show right over here on the top, which probably it's easier to see. And if I'm watching a movie or something like that, well, a movie will not see, but if I'm working on an app, I will be able to see all this information. But I also have the option to put it right over here, and if I want to benchmark a game or something like that, this is really useful and cool. And if I select the display mode, for example, it will show me that I'm at 4K 60 Hertz, and it will show me a lot of information if I want to. STR with 10-bit right over here, and so on. Uptime, not that much, 1 hour and 4 minutes. Yeah, I did reboot it for an update a while ago. And so this is a really nice option, and if I remove this, we can go back, and I will leave them here at the top. Now if we go to the home screen, we will be able to choose one of these, and we can install more if we want. And then voice input applications, just the one that we want for voice assistant, and some animations that we can customize as well. There's also this menu right over here, the power indicator, which is great, where we can select if we want to have the LED indication on or off on the box, which will show at this moment of the recording a green light, which is right over here, but I could select a different light, like a red or like a yellow or something like that, but I will leave it on green. So it's just a matter of choice. We also can change when it sleeps or when it hibernates to have different colors. Besides that, and if we go to right over here, we also have some options. Now stay awake, I can force the machine to stay always awake, no sleep time, no whatnot. What I do, or what the key to shut down will do: wake up from motion, just any motion, it will wake up the machine. The same with Bluetooth. And then when power is applied, do I want to turn on the machine, do I want to turn it off, or keep last state? So this is also a great option. And really interesting as well is that the maximum performance mode, we can see that our CPU at this moment has 40 degrees more or less, working at 600, 500 megahertz, but if we push it, it will go to the maximum, although that it's only using 2%, 1%, 0%, but as we can see, a clock right over here. So if we disable it, it will go to the normal state, and there we go. It will change the animation according to the frequency that it's using. So just awesome. And this is a really nice touch that not all boxes have, so this is something that I wanted to share. Now besides that, everything here is normal. We have the option for super users, so we will be able to have root, and we also, besides all the settings, we can go to the additional settings that will take us to a more Android menu style. So you are completely used to this, and we are not going to cover. It's the usual, and basically that is it. And now that we are aware of some of the things that make this device a bit different from others that do not get customized as this one gets, let's take a look at some benchmarks, starting with the speed test of the disk. Now the speed is really nice, especially on reads. We are reaching 670 megabytes per second and 170 megabytes per second on writes, which makes this device faster. And you will feel that once you open and close apps, the multitasking is a lot faster. In terms of Wi-Fi, it has Wi-Fi 6, and it was reaching here 350 megabits per second download and 150 megabits per second on upload, but this will always depend on the hotspot that we are reaching, if it's closer or not. But I was able to stream 1080 MKV Blu-rays, as I will share with you in just a few moments. In terms of Geekbench, I was only able to find Geekbench 5 for Android, pure Android, on this kind of box, which has a positive side, which is we will be able to compare with other older machines, and when I mean older, about 1 year or 2 years old, which has the Amlogic S912, for example, or S918, and we can compare the difference, or even with the S905, which is the most common on weaker boxes, and we will see a big difference. If we look at the results, we are talking about 409 on single core score and 761 on multi-core score. And if you compare with a full-fledged computer, you will see that okay, it's not that much, but for a Android TV box, pure Android TV box, it is a lot, and it's a good improvement to see this one compared to the previous versions. Now, in terms of PC Mark, so that we can compare with more recent results, we were able to get 7,300 on the overall score. So this is a machine that it's capable to deliver the performance that we want for a Android TV box running Android, not the Android TV version, but the pure Android version. Now, that being said, if you want something to play MKV 1080 Blu-ray movies, on my tests on Plex, Ambi, Jellyfin, Kodi, it was able to decode without any issues whatsoever, everything across the network. I did not use any kinds of movie locally. And if we want to play games, we will be able to do so. I did test it out with Asphalt 8, which is one of my favorite games, and when I have the chance to test it out and play a little bit, I do. But if you want to play other games like PUBG and that kind of game, you will be able to do so without any issues whatsoever. So this is an interesting box. I was curious to see the performance of the Amlogic S928X-J, and it is indeed great. So if you are looking for a machine with pure Android to install a lot of apps with 4 GB of RAM in this particular case and 32 GB of storage, this is a great option on the market, as we could see by some numbers. And I'm curious to know, what would you do and what will you do if you get a machine such as this one running pure Android, or do you prefer Android TV? So drop down below on the comment section, how do you use your Android box and what is the operating system version that you prefer, TV or the pure one? That being said, hope that you are enjoying your day, and if this video was helpful to enjoy it a little bit better, then don't forget the usual thumbs up right over there, which is really appreciated on this side of the screen. My name is Roberto Jorge, and as always, I'll see you on the next one.